These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Thursday, March 23rd, a couple nights after the Celtics took down the Sacramento Kings and one day before they take on the Indiana Pacers. Reminder, if you're a fan of the pregame streams, we will not be doing pregame stream because we will both be at the game for the Pacers game, meaning there just won't be enough. But Celtics, I mean, we're going to get into it. Celtics look back. I'm excited for the game. I mean, I know I get to go to a bunch of them like as media. I've been to some, but I'm going with my brother, my dad, my cousin, and my uncle. So it'll be fun. I haven't been to a game with my family in a long time. Now that I'm thinking about it, so it's gonna be weird, but it's gonna, I mean, in a good way. Like it's just gonna be different because I'm so used to going over there.
Where are you sitting?
Balcony up top somewhere. I don't know the exact seats, but
we'll have to meet up.
Yeah,
I can meet Mr. Simone and Henry if Henry's awake,
and Uncle Dan. You can say hi to
Uncle Dan.
Yeah.
And perhaps Danny if he's around.
Yeah, we're going to Tavern in the Square before the game. So classics.
Okay.
I mean, it's one of the go-tos of a pregame meal.
Halftime pizza is the spot for me.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, we're gonna sit. It's easier to sit down and get like a collective meal.
Even though I'm off pizza, so I'm gonna have
really.
Pizza. Yeah, I just haven't been having it.
I can't actually. You know what? You say that. I can't remember last time I had pizza. Not that I'm like avoiding it specifically, but it's just not like.
Jack's on the healthy kick now.
No, not at all. It's just like I'm trying to eat more healthy, but like even when I was eating unhealthy, I would never really have pizza. The last pizza I had was a Big Mac pizza, which is like Big Mac sauce, meat, pickles, lettuce. It's really good.
Where's this from?
I can't remember. I DoorDashed it because I thought it was interesting looking, and it was like Joe Angelo's or some random place. But I saw it, like the picture popped up, and I was like, that looks pretty good. It was all right. It was fine. It was nothing crazy, but I can't remember the last time I had like pizza.
Little Caesars. All right, there you go.
As soon as I said it, I knew the joke was a lob, but yeah.
You're excited for the game tomorrow. I'm excited for the game tomorrow. I'm also excited for a different game tomorrow. MLB The Show is coming back. It's back tomorrow. MLB The Show 23. Those of you that are avid listeners of the show know that I am an MLB The Show guy. I am. I was gonna pull up highlights, but it's too much of a hassle. It's too much of a hassle. I was just looking down. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to jump through hoops. But back, you want to talk about in my prime? This was me in my prime. Last year, I was playing a ton of MLB in the summer. That's what I do when there's no Celtics. I'm just playing a ton of MLB. So after this, probably go to the gym, but then I'm gonna come home and get a little bit, ramped up, play some MLB 2022, get ready for 23.
Comes out tomorrow?
Stay up till midnight, maybe.
When does
comes
it come
out
out?
at midnight.
Oh, midnight when we're recording this. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So maybe I'll be playing at midnight. I don't know. Late nights in MLB don't really mix because your eyes need to be ready to go.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then I'm a bum.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan of MLB The Show. I never got into the Diamond Dynasty. Is that what it's called? The online mode?
Yes.
Is that what you play?
Yes.
Okay.
Good news for you, Jack. This year, I believe they're going to have ranked. It might be Diamond Dynasty, might not be, but it's going to be co-op.
Ooh.
So you can play with your friends, perhaps play with me. Maybe summer stream. I was playing MLB together.
I'll download it. I'll see what's up. See,
it's free on Game Pass. You don't even have to pay for it.
The game?
Yeah, if you want this weekend, I think you have to pre-order. But if you don't really care that much, I'm pretty sure you just get it for free on Game Pass.
Well, I can definitely think about that. I mean, that'd be fun. I mean, I remember right when quarantine started, my birthday was like right after quarantine started, and I had no clue what I wanted. And so I was like, you know what? I want to play MLB. And at this point, it was PlayStation exclusive, right? It was just PlayStation. So I was like, you know what? Just get me a PlayStation 4, not a 5, because I think this was before the 5 came out. Like, just get me a PlayStation 4. It's good enough. I'll just play MLB The Show. COVID quarantine, I played an obscene amount of my career on MLB The Show. I ripped it. I was I think I was an outfielder, so I could do the diving catches because that was fire. I was the speedy home run hitter build like Ronald Acuna, where I could run super fast but also hit dingers. It's very fun. Very, very fun. Had a good time. I played a little last season. Last year, I like I said, I mainly play the career mode and the dynasty mode. Like I would either build up my player through the minors, or I would go in and like make a bunch of trades and build a roster. I really like the roster builder because it's fun to like see guys go, come through the minors and stuff, and you build them like that sort of thing.
It's too complicated for me. Even though it's typically
that's
I
what
do
I
love
like.
that stuff, but it's just like there's too much going on for me.
There's
I want
definitely
to
a
just
lot.
sit there.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a lot. But I don't know. I enjoy it. Maybe I'll have to get into the Diamond Dynasty this year. You'll have to tell me
I
about
get
it. I'm not big. I don't
super
know.
competitive when I play
Yeah?
MLB. Well, you know how like I used to be in 2K, but it's
Yes.
different. It's a different kind of like fire.
Worse
It's
or
not.
better?
It's definitely better. Like I'm not getting mad at the game, but I'm just real competitive. Like I'm talking to my opponent that can't hear me. So when I'm hitting, I'm getting fired up. If I hit a home run on somebody, I'm fired up. Especially there's people that are toxic in this game, whether it's you can pitch and then they hit the right trigger to make it so you can't pitch because they're looking at the strike zone or whatever. Like there's toxic things people do. So if you're playing one of those people and you hit a home run off them, I feel like KG in the gif of him against the Chicago Bulls and he's in the suit on the sideline just screaming at people.
Mhm.
That's me when I play MLB and I hit a home run on somebody. I am just the meanest motherfucker, and I love it. And I'm nasty at MLB. Like
Is there voice comms? Like, can you talk to them?
you can, but I don't.
Okay, what do you do? Oh, you just get hyped up.
I sit in my own party. You can't listen to music. You got to have a monitor. If you don't have a monitor, you have monitors for your computer, so you can just plug your Xbox in.
Yeah.
You need the monitor. It's a game changer.
What do you mean? You can't do it on TV?
If you do it on the TV, the inputs like difference, the reaction time.
Oh,
screw
really?
You can't play on the high difficulty. If
Gotcha.
you try doing that and then you get a monitor, change your life. Change your life.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's when you
Gotcha.
become nasty.
See, I use a TV as my second monitor.
Another tip: slam back some coffee before you start playing. Steroids. You want to talk about the steroid era? Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure like Mark McGuire's in the game this year and Sammy Sosa. So there you go. Slam back some coffee. Wow. You'll become nasty.
So I can tell you're amped up for this. This is the most.
I am so excited. My buddy at work messaged me today, and I kind of forgot about it. And I was like, man, like a half hour ago, I didn't care, but now I'm kind of pumped. So I'm ready. I might not play tonight because one, I think the internet's going to be bad. Two, your eyes need to be ready to play. Maybe just create my uniforms tonight. Don't know, but tomorrow,
we're playing. You're grinding.
We're playing. I'm back.
There you go.
Last thing on MLB. Last year, me and my boy Frank, Jack knows.
Yep.
We were playing the co-op mode that they had last year. I think it's different. Like it wasn't ranked or anything. You just go in and play for fun. And we're tied. And Frank is not very good at the game. I mean, you're not going to be if you don't play a lot. He doesn't play a lot. What are you going to do?
Sure.
But I say, Frank, if you hit a home run to win the game, I'll literally Venmo you $50. And I've never seen somebody so juiced up trying hard that like they screw up as much as that man Frank was. He was
did he mess up?
No, he didn't hit a home run.
Oh.
Get out of here.
I thought this was going to be a hype story. I was like, oh.
It is a hype story. It was just him failing. Like he was he was trying so hard and he was like so antsy. He like would like fly out. He'd be like, come on. Like he really wanted that $50 and I got in his head. I'm going to have to start doing that to like you. If we're actually we're not live. I was gonna give a free smash the odds pick, but I won't do it.
I'd get mad. You're gonna have to teach me how the co-op works, though, like how you play.
All right, we can do it. If you're around, I'm down.
Yeah, no,
we'll get you good enough at it. Then we'll do some streams in the summer when there's no Celtics going on. We can get it on the fun.
I remember when we did 2K streams; those were kind of fire.
But 2K is like a game that you have to concentrate too much.
I guess.
Especially if you're playing like competitive online, like MLB, especially if you're playing co-op.
Rec was fun though. Rec was fun.
You say fun, I say infuriating.
I enjoyed the Rec.
And death upon individuals you don't know online.
I suppose my role was more simple. I was just a big man. I just get the rebounds. It's easy. Anyways, you're hyped up for MLB The Show. I'm hyped up because the Celtics decided they wanted to play basketball again.
Oh, I'm hyped too. Don't leave me out of it. Don't leave me out.
We're both hyped. We're both hyped. Celtics are back. And you know what? I'm going to give myself credit. You always make fun of me for patting myself in the back. I'm going to do it again. Because what did I say before the Kings game? I said Jason Tatum's going to have a nice little bounce back and play the right way. And the Celtics are going to take their head out of their ass for this one. And what happened? Both of those things happened. Jason Tatum didn't shoot particularly well from three, but he got to the cup. He did a lot of other things well. What did the Celtics do? They played great basketball, and they beat the Kings by a lot. After the first quarter,
on their home floor.
Yeah, exactly. After the first quarter, wasn't close. Celtics said, "Fuck the beam." They said, "Get it out of here. We're not lighting
pack
anything
that beam
tonight.
up. Get it out of here."
Smoking the beam pack. Not like what a game. What a bounce back. That's the type of thing to get you juiced up if you're a Celtics fan. And if it doesn't, I don't care if you cover the team. I don't care if you're a fan of the team. I don't care if you're a hater on Twitter. If you have
I'm all of those.
if you're if you say something bad after that game, then you're you don't have joy, right? That was great basketball. And even the first quarter when it was toe to toe, I attribute that more to just that the Kings were not missing. They were playing great. And I'll say this now so we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. Domantas Sabonis is so good. He's so good, right? You watch him tear the Celtics apart in the first quarter, right? And obviously they figured it out. They came up on him a little bit.
Couldn't have been that good.
Adjusted the defense.
By 30.
Sure. But I don't know. I was very impressed. He's very good. He was fun to watch as a person who covers the opposing team. He was fun to watch. But Celtics look real good. I mean, they played the right way. The defense was good. They clamped down. They're passing the ball. They shot pretty well. Yeah, they shot 41%. Tatum was who I was thinking of. He shot 2 for 7, so not great. But I mean, shot 14 of 25 overall, and that's a hell of a lot better.
I'll take that. But 2 of 7 is better than 6 of 17 from 3.
Yes, very true. But yeah, Celtics they just played the right way, and that's all you really can ask for.
You're right. That's all you can ask for. They did everything you can really ask of them, and I was thrilled. I was real tired by the end. I really wanted to go to bed. Shout out to the Kings for not fouling like Portland or who was the other team that just kept fouling them?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Like the game was over.
Hey, Mike Brown, Coach of the Year, just for that. Give it to him.
Yeah, good job, Mike Brown.
Beast.
Kings team, very likable. Have to root for them in the West. Sure, it would be nice to play them in the finals. Just saying. But seriously, I'm very happy with what we got from the Celtics on Tuesday. I really thought that was an encouraging game. As somebody that was very down on the Celtics before that game, even though I did say on the stream I broke character and said I thought they'd win.
Yeah, right.
But I felt they would win that game. I'm glad we were both right about it. I'm glad Tatum had a more balanced game. I'm glad he wasn't just chucking threes. He was not lazy. He got to the basket. Everything we've been begging for, he kind of did. You also saw a little bit of a Marcus Smart bounce back. Took a lot of threes, but he had a good assist game, and he created some good baskets, I thought. I thought he was great. Thought Derrick White was great. Jaylen Brown continued to be great.
Yep.
You got a really well-rounded game from the Celtics. That's what you need as we grow closer and closer to the playoffs. What, they have 10 games left?
Yeah, I think something like that.
This is time. I'm still excited for the playoffs. I'm still excited. They did everything they could to make me be like, oh, this is going to suck. It's going to be terrible. I'm going to be upset. But they may be back. Celtics might be back.
Hey.
And one more thing, still don't buy the Tatum shoes. He's got some work left. Only a select few people, 5 people can buy the shoes.
Who are the select few? Would you like to call them?
I don't care.
Who's allowed to buy the shoes? No? Okay.
No. Just the first 5. Like Jordan needs to put like a 5-pair limit on the store when they drop them.
Uh-huh.
And then if every time Tatum scores 30, you can add 5 more.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, that makes sense to me. So, someone, you did mention him, but we have to talk about it. Derrick White was so good. He was like, it sucks to say this because it gives life to the people who hate on Marcus Smart, but he is right now, he's the best guard on the Celtics. All right. He damn well might be their 3rd best player. He is absolutely phenomenal. I don't even know if he shot well against the Kings. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm foolish. He shot 5 of 10 from 3. He was killing it. But on top of that, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 12 assists. 3 of those rebounds were offensive rebounds. He had 2 blocks, which he's become known for. Like, what else can you ask for from the guy? I mean, like I said, he damn well might be their third best player. And if he got these sort of minutes every single night, which by the way, let's check something important quick after we complained about it in the previous game. Look at that. Derrick White, 7 minutes and 12 seconds in the fourth quarter. Let's give a round of applause.
Clap
Let's
it up.
go.
Clap it
I will
up for
say,
Joe.
I will say like 4 of those were garbage time, but whatever, Joe.
Well, good. I'm glad it was garbage time.
I guess, but why is Derrick White playing in garbage time? Get him out of there.
Well, he really shouldn't have played at all because that game wasn't close in the fourth. But like if he didn't play him, people would have been like he didn't play him in the fourth quarter again. So like Joe definitely bought into that. Was like, all right, enough of that.
You can't convince me that if he was given these minutes consistently all season, like 35, 30 a night or whatever, he could be their third leading scorer. He could average 15. He could average 7 assists. He could average 5. Like he's just been so impressive this year, and I think there's a lot of truth to the fact that like I feel like a lot of people forget last year was not even his first year in Boston. It was like his first half year. Like he got there at the deadline. He was forced to immediately try to integrate with the team that they already had something flowing because they were just starting to get rolling when he got there. And obviously they were really good after, but they had already built some momentum up before he got traded there. But heading into this year, in the whole summer with the team, right? He had a whole training camp, a whole preseason, and now he's on the team getting consistent-ish minutes, right? Getting some real run. I mean, he's so good. Like I'm like lost for words. Just like how consistently impressive he is. Like unwavering, always the same. You can, and even when he doesn't shoot well, you can count on him to bring a bunch of other stuff because he's going to defend his ass off. He's going to block some shots. He's going to grab some rebounds, and he's going to get into the paint. Right? He just does everything, and he does it without like. I've seen him like show emotion twice. Like the whole season, right? And they've been just like him screaming after an and one. I will say
it is real funny when he gets hyped.
And I will say before you go, because I'll give you a chance to talk about him. Yeah. The funniest thing for me is when Derrick White gets mad at a foul call, because he does it a lot. Because I will say, I think we should start the war on White instead of the war on Tice. Dude has a terrible whistle. He gets a terrible
Maybe
whistle
call it something
on
else.
Defense. Yeah, you're right.
The
war on Derrick. We'll call it the war on Derrick. You're right. But like the way he reacts is like he's not aggressive. He doesn't yell like Tatum or do the little money sign like Luka did the other night. He'll just walk up to the ref. He'll be like, "What? What are you talking about?" And then he'll go up and then he'll just have a really calm conversation with the ref. He'll be like, "What did you see there? Like, what are you doing?" It's very funny.
That's how you're supposed to do it. Tatum take notes. Grant take notes.
Exactly. But overall, like, not enough good things can be said about Derrick White this season.
I agree. I think Derrick White is really making the Celtics' future more interesting, at least.
Oh, interesting.
And that doesn't mean Marcus Smart is out.
But
it means that Al Horford's successor may not be Grant Williams. It may be Tatum sliding down to the 4.
Ooh, yes. I like that.
Because Derrick White can play alongside Marcus Smart because he's been excellent catch and shoot.
Seamlessly. Yeah, seamlessly.
Your starting 5 may end up being the fellas and Rob instead of Al. Or if you want Rob off the bench like you've been preaching all year, that too. Mm-hmm. I think Derrick White very well could be this team's third best player right now. I think Derrick White has been extremely consistent this season. And I think Derrick White plays with a cool enough head to where even when he's off, he's still impacting the game. He's playing good defense, blocking shots. He has the good vision to distribute the ball. You saw he reminds me against the Kings.
It reminds me a lot of Al Horford. I feel like he's just the guard version of Al, if that makes sense.
It's fair. That's a good point. And I mean, who knows what you're going to get from Al Horford past this season? We kind of were like, is this the last hurrah last season? And it turns out it's kind of not. He's just kind of morphing into catch and shoot and still plays solid defense. But he's still going to get older. You don't down the line. You need somebody to succeed him. My God, Sam, Jesus. It might be him. It might be Derrick White sliding into that 2-guard role alongside Marcus Smart, who I still think is getting his footing back after getting hurt.
Definitely.
I thought that Kings game was encouraging for Marcus. I do think Marcus is as important as anybody on this team going into the playoffs. Make no mistake.
By the way, 17 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 6 of 15, 3 of 9. Solid game.
0 turnovers.
Game. 1 turnover, but yes, solid game for Marcus.
Who cares? 0. It's close enough. We round down here.
Shout out the Celtics as a whole for that one because 5 turnovers on the night, nobody had more than 1. Yeah, so like just
good for them.
Everyone gets 1. Hey, it's fine. 5 turnovers.
You got to stop screwing around now. This is time. 10 games
Agreed.
left in the season. You are technically within striking distance of Milwaukee. You have another game against them. You can win that game. You have a game against Philly left. Not that that game really matters because you still have the tiebreaker. So essentially, I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You've taken care of business enough against Philly. Tatum needs to keep it going. We saw a good Tatum game. Finally, only
Yeah.
7 threes. We already talked about it. 14 of 25 from the field. That's what you want to see. I thought Tatum did a good job of distributing the ball. I think he's done that a couple times on this road trip, which is important as you go towards the playoffs. When he's going to get more attention from the defense, you need him to have his head on a swivel and set up the right guys in the right spot.
Mhm.
Jaylen Brown, again, excellent.
How upsetting
Excellent
was
with
it
a
for you to
mask.
say only 7 threes? Did that hurt you to say that?
No, that's great.
You
I'll take what I can get.
Okay, I got you. Now,
If he's not cracking
yeah.
double digits, I'm fine. And if he's
Fair.
I honestly don't care how many threes he takes. That's not necessarily true. But as long as he's shooting over 50% from the field as a whole, you can't really complain too much. Because that means
Mhm.
even if those threes aren't dropping, he's getting good shots somewhere else.
Yep. I agree. I also wanted to ask you, how do you think Robert Williams looked? Made his return to the court. Celtics lineup was almost fully back, still missing Pritchard and obviously Gallo, but Rob was back. I thought he looked good. I don't know about you.
I thought he was fine. He didn't play a whole lot, which is also fine. What did he play,
Yeah.
like 15, 20 minutes?
20 minutes off the bench, yeah.
I thought Rob was fine. He was on that minutes restriction. Looked good, created some hustle plays. Thought he was on the glass pretty well. Happy with
Yeah.
that. You don't need a whole lot from Rob right now. You need to ramp him up for the playoffs when you're really going to need him.
No, I agree. Sorry, I coughed there at an inopportune time. My biggest thing with Rob is like, as much as like last year, I feel like I said like 4 times. Jesus, get yourself together, Jack. We were talking a lot last year about how Rob could be the third All-Star in the Celtics, all this stuff. Like he's the next piece. He's the third best guy. Blah blah blah. And I still think at his ceiling he is that. But he's shown, unfortunately, not his fault, that he just can't be that on a night-to-night basis. And it has nothing to do with his play. He just can't stay on the court. And again, not his fault. It happens. Look at the Greg Odens of the world and be glad he's not that, right?
Or me.
He's working back. He's figuring out. Yeah, exactly. Sure. Sam and his knee. But I thought he was good in his role. I thought he fouled a lot, and I think that was just him getting back to the NBA speed. Obviously, it was his first game back in a long time, so he's got to get used to it. He was dealt a fairly tough matchup in his first game back too. Sabonis was cooking. The Kings are a high-powered offense. They're going to get to the line. They're going to get inside. They're going to kick out for 3, so he's going to be running around doing a lot of stuff. But I thought he was solid in the minutes he played. 6 points, 7 rebounds, 2 of those offensive, solid. He had a block as well. Just a good night off the bench. Only took 4 shots, but I mean, Rob's never going to take a ton of shots. It is what it is. Like you said, I think the important part is just ramping him up, getting him ready for the playoffs, getting him healthy, using these last 10 games as sort of a warm-up period. Obviously, the rest of the team needs to be focused on winning because you need to keep that up. But for Rob, get up to speed again, right? Like, get your legs under you, get ready for the playoffs. And I think that's all that really matters when it comes to Robert Williams down the stretch. However, and I've been saying this, I think they should just keep the starting lineup. There's no point, right? It's just, I think it would be stupid to go back to double bigs. Not that double bigs isn't good. Not that double bigs doesn't have its place. At its best, it is elite. And I think a lot of people, though, are just hanging on to the greatness they saw last year with the double bigs. And that's fine, right? Double bigs was awesome last year. It was more than fine. That was disrespectful. It was the best in the league. It was the best 5-man unit in the league. But it just hasn't been that this year. And I know they haven't gotten a lot of room together. Sure. However, the starting lineup with Derrick White instead, I mean, let's not forget that they started the season like 21-6. They were nasty. They were filthy. And you saw that against the Kings. You saw what they can be. Even when Rob came back from injury and they had that, few games stumble against the Magic and the Pacers at home, they recovered and they were great. With Rob off the bench, providing the energy, he talked about that when he's coming off the bench, and Derrick White in the starting lineup. Derrick White in the starting lineup works. It works so well. We just talked about it for like 10 minutes about how he's like the third best player on the team. He's been great this year. I just don't think it's worth going back to the double bigs, especially when they haven't played a ton together this season, and you only have 10 games left until the playoffs. When are you going to get the time to play together? Are you just going to, throw it in the playoffs and hope it works magically after not being able to play consistently together in a year? Like, I don't
That's a
know.
good point.
I don't love it. Especially like you look last year, Rob wasn't healthy in the playoffs and they kept rolling out double bigs. I'm not saying they had the personnel to go 2-guard lineup, but like it couldn't hurt. And especially with Malcolm Brogdon off the bench too. And I know Cam Tabata by Celtics Labs talked about this, and I brought it up on the show before. Malcolm Brogdon off the bench, I think is a hell of a lot better than Malcolm Brogdon, Derrick White, right? And I have no problem. They can play together. Obviously, they can play with anybody, but just having a big and a guard off the bench, being able to change the lineups a bit more freely, et cetera, without having to worry, okay, well, if we're going to put 2 guards in, we got to get 2 of these, smaller players out. And I guess we could just go just roll double guards, bring in, first sub being Jaylen Brown and, Marcus Smart or whatever you want to be, bring in Malcolm Brogdon and Robert Williams, run double bigs with that lineup. And then at the end of the game, if double bigs worked, run it at the end. I don't care, but just stick with what works because it's so clear how, last team's ceiling was with double bigs. I think this team's ceiling is with Derrick White in the starting lineup. That's the best way I can phrase it.
Well, it makes sense from the standpoint of your guard rotation is real deep. So you can afford to roll both those guys out in the starting lineup. Last season, if you were to put Derrick White in the starting lineup, you'd be kind of thin coming off the bench. On the other hand, with how well Grant was playing last year, you could kind of afford to put Rob in the starting lineup with Tice there too, who proved to be solid for you. He wasn't perfect, was not perfect, but still a solid backup, and you could rely on him and you could trust him throughout the playoffs in years past, so you knew he was ready. This year, if Rob isn't ready, it does make sense to leave him on the bench. He's more of a player that fits off the bench with the type of energy he can bring you. He's an exciting, high-flying, shot-blocking guy that can give you that spark. And if you do pair him with Brogdon, you're getting 2 guys that give you a spark. Brogdon being able to score for himself, get to the basket pretty easy, and knock down threes at one of the highest clips, if not the highest in the league. Can't complain. Pretty good. Good stuff off the bench. Yep. Even if you do put Rob in the starting lineup, I don't know if it hurts you, but if you're going to do that, to your point, I think you need to make a decision. If you're going to do it, then use these 10 games to do it. I don't know if it's worth just throwing. Well, you may get somebody in the first round where it's worth putting them out. You can afford it.
Like Cleveland, maybe. Yeah.
After that.
Sorry, that's second round. Yeah.
After that, you are going to have to play a real team.
Mm-hmm.
And if you play Miami in the first round, I mean, that's not going to be fun. It's not.
No.
Miami's been wildly inconsistent this year, but they're still annoying, and Jimmy Butler's really good when he tries. Mm-hmm. They're just annoying. Like, Spoelstra's a good coach. Mm-hmm. That's not a team you want to see. Just another reason I kind of think it's important to get that 1 seed, because Miami's in the play-in right now. Very well could sneak out.
I don't know if that's the thing anymore. They might be too far gone.
What do you mean they literally have a game against the Bucks? All they have to do is win.
It's
and
2.5
hope they lose
games.
one more game. No, it's only 2. I think 2, right?
2.5.
Are you sure?
I literally just looked 20 minutes ago. We were talking about it. They are 2.5 games back in the Bucks and only half a game above the Sixers.
All right. Well,
now, I mean, we can look at this quick, and I do have something else I want to say about the thing, but we can go on a little tangent here quick. Sure. Sorry for Landon, who likes the timestamps, which, Landon, if you're listening, loyal listener, I have been putting the timestamps in the description for you on YouTube. So if you haven't looked, it's there. I heard you. I saw your comment, and I have been doing it. I write them down here.
Good
Bucks
guy,
remaining schedule, though. Yeah. Bucks remaining schedule, though. Utah.
Well, who's nasty now?
Sure. Road trip, though. 4-game road trip. Utah, fine. Denver should be a tough game for them. Denver can pull it out. Detroit. So tough. Indiana's come up big for the Celtics before, beating the Bucks. They took the Sixers deep as well. Boston, obviously the Celtics. Philadelphia, 2 in a row. It's 2 tough games in a row. Washington, Chicago.
Chicago been sneaky okay with Pat Bev.
Yeah. Memphis and Toronto. So
Memphis. Eyeball
Memphis
emoji.
Can help out. Yeah, Denver can help out. Philly can help out. Memphis can help out. And obviously the Celtics can take care of business themselves. Sneaky teams,
There's
though,
some
like
chances in there.
Utah's not terrible. Indiana's not terrible. This is called coping. We're hoping, right? But
I'm telling you, there's chances for them to lose.
they can. There's a chance. But
Did you
back
see
to
Giannis said Thanasis is important today?
I know. I knew you didn't like that. I know. I saw.
That's
your
pretty
tweets.
funny. He was like, "Yeah, it's really important to have him there on the bench."
Well, you can mock it.
I will mock it.
I know. You're going to mock it. You can mock it. It's fine. He's no different than Theo Pinson. Like, realistically speaking,
Theo
and I
Pinson
like
got
Theo
roasted
Pinson.
this week too.
Sure, but I don't mind that type of player. I don't hate it. I think it's
Well,
easy
Theo
to mock.
Pinson's likable. Thanasis, I mean, Theo Pinson still had to get in the league. Thanasis kind of had like, you're going to be in the league because it's your brother.
Sure.
I mean, Theo
But, like,
Pinson still had to get here.
Sure, but I understand the value of a guy like Thanasis, right? And you can mock it obviously because of the brother and the connection and how he got there, but like you can tell he's the type of guy that if he's on your team you like him, and if he's not on your team you don't, because he's the guy that's hyping you up on the bench. He's giving you the energy. He's pumping up his teammates. So go to battle. Blah blah blah. all that stuff,
Thanasis
like,
is the
whatever.
most egregious bench celebration, not even celebration, just like bench guy ever, because he's like halfway up the sideline. If you watch Bucks games, he's standing next to Budenholzer, who should be unemployed, by the way, if Katie's foot's on the line. Thanasis is outrageous. You want to talk about bench decorum? Hit him with the fine. Have some decorum.
Anyways, back to the starting lineup. I want to be careful how I phrase this because it sounds backwards, and I think you're going to disagree with it if I phrase it the wrong way. So just let me get through it.
Be careful.
Last year, double bigs worked so well because they were able to shut down offenses, right? They were dominant on defense in the second half of the year.
Solid
especially.
defense this year.
And they've been solid this year. But I think I don't want to say problem because it's not a problem because they're still good on defense. Offense is up so much, and I think teams may have potentially learned how to beat the Celtics a little bit better. That as much as I think it's important to lean on defense, and this isn't me saying like don't defend well, because defense is still the key to winning a title. I feel like it almost makes sense to go with what is very clearly the better offensive option that can also still, like, the ceiling of the starting lineup with Derrick White on defense is not as high as Rob, but it's like kind of like this. It's like so close. Like it still can be a great defense. It's just Rob takes them to an elite defense. But the difference between Derrick White in the starting lineup and Rob in the starting lineup, like Rob offense is fine, but Derrick White is elite, right? Like there's a bigger gap, I think, between how good the offenses are and how good the defenses are. And so I think almost, especially with how much offense is up this year, like, I mean, no matter how well you defend, teams are just scoring, right? Like the offense is crazy this year. They've learned how to score. Numbers are up across the board. Leaning into that while also being able to rely, because Derrick White's an all defensive guard.
This is
if
where
he's not, yeah, if he's not on that team, that's fine. But like also having him as the offensive option out there, I think gives this particular team in this setting with how good offenses around the league a higher ceiling. Does that make sense? I didn't want to phrase it as in like defense doesn't matter, but I think leaning into that may be a little more important right now.
Well, I think the important thing is you're really not sacrificing defense, which is your point if you use Derrick White over him. I do think Rob is great for your defense. I think he's important when you have guys that are really great around the rim.
No question. Bam being a perfect example if they play Miami.
I mean, there's just going to be situations for both of them. It's a tough, it's a tough like bet. I don't know. I actually like hate this conversation just because I really don't feel like there's a right answer. It's fine to talk about, and we have to talk about it, but what are you going to do? I think you start for situation. You play Philly, you might put Rob out there to be a lurker for Embiid when he's down low if you're helping on the double team. I still think both players have a great purpose. I don't think you're going to have a problem regardless of who you start. And I'm not entirely sure starting lineups matter all that much. I do think in the playoffs it's important to get off to a good start, though, especially if you're at home.
I do think Derrick plays better as a starter than a bench player, though, this year.
That is also true. Entirely true. If you go look up the splits, it'll tell you that.
And I feel like maybe it's just the eye tester because he hasn't played a lot, but I feel like it doesn't matter as much with Rob, whether he's off the bench.
Well, Rob's like not somebody that needs the ball to be good.
He doesn't need the rhythm. Yeah, he doesn't need the rhythm.
He's not shooting jumpers. He's literally catching and dunking.
I will say, though, as much as you say it depends on matchup, like I mean, you said this earlier as well. They need to make a choice, right? Like you can't just keep flip flopping. That just like I think that would hurt Rob and Derrick White at that point if they don't know what their consistent role is. And I mean,
There's truth to that too.
we
Look at
wanted a whole
Derrick
rant
White's
last
splits.
pod. Yeah, exactly. We went on a whole rant last pod about how they need to pick a rotation and stick with the bench players. Like, I mean, Sam Hauser was out against the Kings, and it sucks because he's been playing well. But like with Rob back, someone's gonna have to get cut out, or you have to expand it. And I don't know. It's just gonna be tough. And I think
I'm glad I'm
you
not
know the
Missoula.
DJ. You know the DJ Khaled meme suffering from success. That's
Literally
kind of
this. You have too much
yeah,
talent.
right.
It's true. There's truth to it because you don't know what to do.
You saw it in 2019. I'm not comparing this team to 2019. I know you have in the past. I'm not going that far, but like you have a lot of talent.
Depends if they win or lose or not. You're starting to get some of the 2019 fun with Jaylen. Everyone's getting a hard on, whether
man.
it's he's not going to leave. What are you idiots? You're reporting this, you're reporting that, or you just have the people that are so excited. They're like, oh, he called the Celtics racist. Oh,
we
he's
do need
going
to
to
talk
leave.
about this.
We should or
We
we
need to talk
shouldn't?
about this.
Oh.
No, we do. We need to talk about this. This is big news, obviously. I think the people saying, going back at it and saying like, okay, well, like, how can you say that? Like, I'm not like, that's the problem, right? Because clearly it's objectively the problem, right? As I mean, I'm a white guy from Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, you're
So
the devil.
no, stop. That's the problem. Not like you specifically, but like there's obviously a race issue in the United States, and Boston has been a hotspot of that just because of the way it's been
Truth.
over the years, and that's fine, right? Not that's fine, but like accept it is my point, right? Like you can accept that's a thing while also working towards bringing solutions to it without being combative at a black man in Boston telling his experience, right? Like combating back at what Jaylen is saying, you're being part of the problem at that point. Accept his point of views, accept that Boston has a history of racism, just not subjectively, like objectively it does, right? And instead of combating against that and trying to quote unquote fight for your city, fight to make your city better by pushing for improvements to that instead of being combative at someone calling it out. Because they're just calling out a truth, right? They're just calling out a truth. So respect what Jaylen Brown has to say as a man who has different experiences. I mean, talking personally from my own, and work towards a solution rather than being combative against what he's saying.
I think Jaylen really said it great. I think he did a great job of carefully selecting his words. I think the narrative could be being run with significantly more than it is because he specifically highlighted that it's not everybody, it's a select group, which is absolutely true. There is a select group. There's a select group everywhere, and that's the problem. It's kind of bad. I mean, there's people here, there's people everywhere. It's true, and it's like kind of a weird thing. It's like we are so far into the future where like everybody's kind of cool with everybody.
It does.
I mean, like all in on it.
It doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, like as a straight white guy, to be perfectly clear, it's not my place to talk on a lot of these problems, right? Because I'm not affected by them. The best thing I can do, and the best thing most people can do, is listen to the people who have been affected by them, and then find ways to help. Right? Like that's the best part. Not be like I said, like a lot of the reaction to that was, well, I'm not this, I'm not that. Fine, right? You can know that internally without putting that out into the ether, because when you do, it sounds like you're against the idea that he's sharing. Like his experiences are true because they're his experiences. You can't deny something that's happened to him. We're talking about Jaylen Brown here, right? All you can do is listen and then help be a part of the problem instead of combating it with like all these like stupid, like pointless messages, right? Jaylen Brown is sharing his experience, and unless he's magically a liar, which he's never come off to be, he's always been like a very respectful, very cool guy. Like very smart individual. Like these have all happened. Marcus Smart's talked about it.
Yeah, the Marcus Smart one, like I really hate. I hate that. Right? I hate that somebody was mean to him.
You can't deny that there is racism in Boston. Like you said, there's racism everywhere, but Boston specifically, there is a history of that sort of behavior. But the best thing to do as somebody from that city, from that place, instead of trying to defend the city, which in turn you are defending, it sounds like you are defending the actions of that city, which objectively have happened there. Just instead of being combative, just fight to make it a better place, right? Like accept other people's point of views and move forward and try to make it better. That's my thing. I understand the immediate like knee jerk reaction to be like, well, I'm not, right? Like, because you want to like.
What's the thing? He didn't even say
your own
that.
Human.
He didn't
I
say
know.
it's everybody.
I know,
People
but
shouldn't be reacting like that. To your point,
I know, but even
like
when
he
people
did an excellent job of voicing the issue. He didn't make it a generalization. He didn't make it on everybody. And he said the fans are great for the most part. The people that aren't great need to get their shit together. It's bad.
Sure,
It's
I agree with you.
embarrassing.
And he's like I said, he's a very poignant person. He's very
We're
smart.
on the same page.
Great words. But even when somebody says, and this is going deeper beyond what Jaylen said for a second, even when someone comes out and says Boston is racist, right? A lot of people knee-jerk reaction. No, it's not, because they like where they're from. They love where they're from. They are proud of where they're from. People will share their experiences of that, because from other points of view, Boston is racist, right? Like if you're someone who has had to deal with that on a consistent basis in Boston, of course you're going to think that. Of course that's going to be your experience, because everyone's experience is different. So instead of just turning your nose at it, right, and sort of flipping it, right, the issue is not the person saying that. The issue are the people making that person think that. And I think a lot of people's knee-jerk reactions to stuff like what Jaylen said, and even when people make it a generalization, is instead of hearing their perspective and hearing the point of view and helping to make it better, they immediately fight back and try to defend their city as a whole instead of defending the good parts of their city. Because when they're defending their city in that context, they're defending everything that happens, and obviously everything that happens is not good. But I just wanted to talk about that, and I thought it was important that we talked about that. As far as the whole as far as the whole Jaylen Brown leaving thing, like the way I see it is, whenever a player is asked about their future with the team, they are put in an impossible situation, right? They are put in a spot where they literally can't win, because they can either say, I'm committed, I'm staying here, don't worry, right? And if they truly believe that, great, fine. But the reality of life is that a lot can change in 2 years, right? A lot can change. Say the Celtics win a title, Jaylen Brown wants to move on, right? Maybe he wants to move on. Say they don't win a title. Say Jaylen Brown thinks it's important for him to go somewhere else to try to be the number one. Fine. Say they don't win a title and something happens internally that doesn't sit right with Jaylen, right? A lot can happen in 2 years. And if he says he's going to commit to Boston, then he doesn't, who is he going to be like? Who?
Certain rat.
Right? Exactly. Kyrie did that, right? However, if he does what he did and says, I'm worried about now, I don't want to make decisions about the future, people are immediately going to say, he's out of here, he's gone, right? There's no winning when you get asked a question like that. And so it's brutal, especially considering 2 articles came out in the span of like a week.
Well, they're like
even
old.
though
That's the thing.
The Ringer one was old. I don't know about the New York Times one, but I know the
Okay.
Ringer one was from like January or something, the quotes at least. But that's my thing. Like, is he going to leave? Maybe. I don't know. But like,
I don't think so. I lean no.
He was put in an impossible situation when he's asked a question like that.
I don't think Jaylen really has expressed any interest in leaving. I just think you're right. He just kind of didn't want to have to deal with
Because
like
a lot can
committing either
change.
way.
And a lot can change, right?
I think Jaylen really seems to like it here. I think he has a good relationship with Brad Stevens, who's the one in charge. Obviously, Brad coached him through his first 4 or 5 seasons in the NBA. You obviously can trust him. He talked about when all the rumors were happening, he felt comfortable talking to Brad and hearing that, he was straightforward. And Brad, I'm pretty sure, called him right away, or he called Brad and got it straightened out. I think the important relationship between him and Brad Stevens is a key in his happiness with the Celtics. I think he trusts Brad. I think he trusts the front office. And I think he gets along with Tatum well enough to where they can coexist. You never hear those guys really butting heads. You don't hear about jealousy when Jaylen was asked to, I mean, obviously you can't really come out and say like, yeah, I'm heated. Tatum's getting all these extra shots at the end of games or whatever, but you never hear any kind of, you don't see it. You don't see frustration on the court. They seem tight. He does not seem like somebody that's ready to run away and leave.
I agree with you. I don't think he'll necessarily leave it, but like I keep saying,
it's not like Kyrie. When Kyrie was here and like there was a speculation of him leaving, you could kind of feel it. And that's why it was so annoying, is because we spent all year like defending that guy and he left anyway.
And not to defend Kyrie, because I disagree with a lot of the stuff he says. However, he's talked about this multiple times, and this is more to my less of like defending Kyrie, more of to my point about Jaylen. Like he lost, I think it was his grandpa. This Kyrie lost his grandfather that year, right? He's dealing with a lot of personal family issues behind the scene, just dealing with stuff. And I think a big reason he wanted to move is because he wanted to be closer to his family. Now, agree with it, whatever. Disagree with the way he went about it, fine. But the point coming back to, I keep saying, a lot of stuff can change in just one season, let alone two. And so, like I said, Celtics win a title, maybe Jaylen wants to move on. Celtics don't win a title, maybe he wants to be the number one. Hell, maybe he just wants to be closer to home and he wants to go to the Atlanta Hawks so he can be with his family down there. Like, a lot can happen, right? And so, is Boston going to hate Jaylen if he ups and leaves? Of course,
yes.
Right? That's the way the city works. That's the way sports work. I don't personally agree with it. I don't like it as much. Whatever.
I agree with it.
I know, fine, but the like asking him 2 years in advance in the middle of a title run, and potentially another one, hopefully another one next year.
It's a distraction. It's annoying.
Of course, he's gonna like give you a non-answer, right? And I, if anything, I respect the honesty of him saying, "I don't know what the future holds," because no one does. That's why it's the future, right? Like no one's invented a fucking time machine. He doesn't know what's gonna happen.
He truly does
no
not
problem
seem
with
like
Jaylen.
somebody ready to run out the door. He just doesn't.
No, and the answer the next night, he was like, I'm happy with this team, right? I'm ready to rumble. Like, this is the team I know, and this is the team I love, blah, blah, blah. Energy shifting, like all these good things. Pictures came out of him smiling in practice with Rob. Like, when he was asked about it, he's like, I just don't know what's happening right now. I'm focused on winning a championship, right? It was a no-win situation for him getting asked that question. And I like the way he answered it because he was honest, and I always respect honesty over all the bullshit. But that's the extent I see to it. The people saying like Jaylen hates Boston, it's so clear. Like, can you tell him? I'm getting a phone call. It's so clear. Like, I can't believe like you don't see it. Like, stop. Right? Like,
yeah, that's the thing that pisses me off about this. Not that, I mean, he didn't say anything wrong. I don't think Jaylen's really said anything wrong with all of this. I think he handled the racism part excellent. He made sure to articulate everything really perfectly to where, I mean, people are going to run with it, but
I respect the hell out of it.
I think he did a really good job of trying to not generalize the blame, which is a good thing for us that are from here. And of course, the people that are causing the problem need to be stopped. Like, it needs to change. And then, of course, with the question he was asked about leaving, what do you want him to say? Like you said, Jack, he didn't cast doubt on it. He just kind of said, I'm not doing anything. And everyone was like, well, that means he's leaving. Because if he didn't say he's going to stay and sign a lifetime contract, then he's leaving. You want to talk about lifetime contracts? Ed Cooley like never sounded like he wanted to leave Providence. I know we talked about this last time, but he's gone now. So it really doesn't mean anything. You can say whatever you want. It doesn't matter. And I don't really care about college basketball. I just think that story's so interesting. I don't know why.
Stuff can change. All right. Before we do get into the bracket, you said we were bringing it back. I don't know if you forgot. It's time for the rat list. Sam.
Rat list. Yes.
Are you prepared?
I have.
Do you have
anything?
Rats.
You go first.
All right.
You're ready. Who's your rat? You can have multiple rats.
It's a bit iffy. And I
don't know. You don't have to stick to the NBA, by the way. If you have a rat,
I have one NBA, one non-NBA. NBA one. There's no specific person. It's more like a rat situation. But what the hell happened in Warriors Mavs? Like what even went wrong?
That was kind of funny.
Right? Like on the one side you have the Warriors mocking the Mavericks, on the other side you have the Mavericks complaining about the refs. How does that happen? And how did no one say anything? Right? Like, it just, I don't know. And they're protesting the game too because they only lost by 2 points, and the
protest is hilarious.
I think
because they aren't going to win.
You don't think so?
No, they're not going to win because the referees said that they did everything right. They're not going to go against the refs without evidence. I don't think there's any evidence. I don't know. I haven't seen like a full breakdown. I saw the play. I saw what happened. I wrote about it, but I don't think that there's any evidence that the referees are wrong in the situation. And Golden State came out. Curry said he didn't see anything that would indicate that there was any confusion.
Well, Dallas said
clear from the bench.
Dallas said that,
and if you don't know what's happening in that game last night,
I can explain it. It's part of my explanation. Okay. Basically, heading into a timeout, Dallas claims that the refs told them it was their ball, and so when they came out of the timeout, they lined up on their side of the court, ready to inbound the ball and go. However, somewhere lost in translation, the refs determined it was the Warriors' ball, And so the Warriors lined up under their basket, and the Mavs were obviously on the other side under their basket, ready to inbound. And so the Warriors, the refs didn't say anything. Nobody said anything. The refs inbounded the ball for the Warriors. Warriors got an open layup, and the Mavs were confused and pissed. And so they're protesting the game because it ended up being a 2-point game. Now, obviously, from the Warriors' perspective, they knew it was clear it was their ball, but apparently the Mavs said they didn't tell us it was our ball. Blah, blah, blah. Mark Cuban called it the worst refereeing mistake in the history of basketball, which, okay, Mark Cuban. But that's the first rat. I had just the situation. Second rat, non-basketball. I was driving to my dad's for dinner. I was making good time. I was, chilling, listening to music. Let me ask you a question, Sam.
I'm listening.
If it's 40 miles per hour on the road, that's the speed limit.
How fast should they be driving?
How fast are you supposed to drive?
50, at least.
This motherfucker going 38 miles an hour in a 40. I was
That's terrible.
So mad. I was making great time. I was like, I think I can get there in under 10 minutes. I'm having, nobody on the road. Dude pulls out from a side street. I can see it. He had plenty of time to pull out from the side street. Not the problem. He had time. 38 miles an hour. I am raging. I was so mad. Unacceptable. Drive normal. Get out. Right? On the highway, driving slow, fine. You stay in the middle lane. Other people can pass you, whatever. On a single lane road, if you're driving the speed limit or under, you are a rat, and I don't care.
It is true.
Okay.
You can't.
Yes.
I was on the highway coming home from the Foxwoods trip.
Yeah.
This woman is in the fast lane.
Oh.
She couldn't have been going more than 50. And there's a state trooper right behind her. That guy should have lit her up for a ticket.
I've done something similar by accident. So when I got my driver's license, the first time I drove on the highway, I'll preface with my story of getting my license is weird because I didn't get my license until I was like 21 because I just didn't get the classes when I was 16, like whatever, stuff happens.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't, like COVID hit, bunch of shit, whatever. Got it finally. First time I went on the highway, I was going to Ithaca to see my girlfriend for the first time. 6-hour drive, by the way, right? Brutal. So I was unaware that cops are supposed to take the left lane, and if they're there, you have to get out of the way. I assume they could just go around, whatever. And so instead of getting out of their way, first time driver on the highway, the anxiety of seeing a cop kicked in. So I went the speed limit. I went like 65, 70 in the fast lane. They were mad. These cops are assholes, right? I'll call them out. They after a while they didn't have their lights on or anything, right? It's not like obviously if their lights on, I'll know to move out of the way, but they were just chilling, whatever. They speed behind me or around me into the middle lane. I can see the mouth that they said. They just screamed move, and the other one laughed at me and just gave me a look. I was like, it scared the shit out of me, right? The first time on the highway, of course it's gonna scare me. And so that from then on, obviously, I understand
interesting choice from you on your first time on the highway to look at the cops.
Well, I saw it out of the corner of my eye that they were looking and mouthing something at me. So I you know what I'm saying? I thought they were saying something.
Very bold.
Shit my pants. Well, I mean, they stared at me. Well, I didn't look over, but they rode alongside me for a second. And so you're going to look
if they're do the glance.
So, that is since then I obviously know the rule, but yeah, speed limit or under, you're a rat. The case closed. That's
Agree.
it. Not okay. Anyways, who are your rats?
There should be a speed range.
Sure. No, I disagree. Only because then you're still going to have people going at the bottom of that speed range being assholes.
Yes, but the speed range allows you to punish the people that go too slow.
Oh,
so
you're
even
saying
if you say it's like 40 to 55.
I see what you're saying. Then if you're going under 40, you can get pulled over for going too slow.
Exactly.
I understand what you're saying. Yes. Okay. Yeah. No, I agree. That makes sense.
Okay. I think good middle ground, good laws. Put me in charge of traffic laws. Efficient roads might have more deaths. What are you going to do? Darwinism. Okay, rat list. Bronny. Bronny is on the rat list. You might say, why is Bronny on the rat list? Well, Bronny, much like Rat Kyrie, has gone back on his word. Those of you that have been on Twitter might have seen that Bronny is playing the McDonald's All-American game. And Bronny famously said back in the day, he doesn't want to wear his dad's number because he doesn't want people to know him for being LeBron's son. Can you hear any of that?
I can. Yeah, no, I'm listening. I was laughing. I was drinking. Sorry.
Okay. He doesn't want anyone to know him for being LeBron's son, so he wanted to be unique and choose his own number. Well, here we are, McDonald's All-American game, probably the biggest game of Bronny's life. What numbers he wearing? But 23. And they made a big deal out of it and posted it all over Twitter.
All right. I will.
Rat list goes
I will
back on his word.
I will
Bum.
defend the rat. I'll. When this quote was 5 years ago?
Doesn't matter.
A lot can change, especially for a kid.
You don't think people have the receipts?
I will defend the rat list on this one. I disagree with the rat. I respect your opinion. I disagree with the
Rat
selection.
Junior. You have rat in your jeans. What are you gonna do?
It's Mickey Mouse and Mickey Rat.
Mickey Mouse, Mickey Rat. That's right. I like that. Big fan of that.
All right. Did you have another rat?
Also,
as well?
rat list, but with an F. Zion, fat list. Zion, still hurt, still hasn't recovered from being fat. He's on the fat list because he just can't get on the court. I stand by it. Last year, I was saying I don't really think any player recovers from being fat. Zion came out, half proved me wrong. Was an all-star starter, but guess what? Too fat to play in the all-star game. Too fat to suit up for the Pelicans.
I don't think the fatness is the issue. I think it was an issue. I think the issue now is just like the way he plays. He puts so much stress on his legs that he's going to keep getting injured, which is like,
well, he's
it's
getting
not an
muscle
excuse,
injuries.
it's
He's not
happening,
getting structural injuries, which is kind of different.
Still,
I'm
like,
not
just the
a
way
doctor
he
or
plays.
anything.
The way he plays puts so much stress on the bottom half of his body, I think.
Well, you know what else puts stress on your lower half? Is weight.
That you killed me with Fatless. That was out of nowhere.
Good delivery by me.
All right.
Pat me on the back.
Shall we bracket it up?
We can bracket it up. We're ready.
Let's do it.
This is a big I'm actually going to zoom in before I do this because I like the way it looked for the Sam bracket. If you haven't seen the Sam bracket, go back to the stream. It was a very good time. All right. Today's bracket, this might be one of the last brackets we do, actually. March starts to come to a close.
We might sneak another one or maybe two in, but
we've got
wrapping up.
Go ahead, Sam. You got it, brother. The best cookie bracket.
Oh, baby.
I am a cookie guy. I don't eat a ton of desserts, but cookies are amongst my favorite type of dessert.
Cookies
You've got good. Not too many cookies here, which I can get behind. Looked at some other brackets, and these dudes are really trying to have a whole March Madness. But we have a good amount of cookies to pick from.
Yes.
So let's get after it. Our first matchup appears to be Snickerdoodles versus Butter Cookies.
Ooh, okay. I didn't recognize what butter cookies were at first until you said it. So here's my thing. I lean softer cookies. Like, I don't really like the hard baked ones, like crunchy. I do like the thin and crispy. I have them here somewhere. This type of cookie. Have you ever had Tate's?
Yes.
These are goated. The thin and crispy
those are
goated,
chocolate chip, if I'm not mistaken.
Of course, yes, chocolate chip coated. My advisory teacher, who was the assistant principal, would always bring them in high school for like our advisory period. Very good. She would bring those and apple juice. Weird combo, but middle of the day, good nonetheless. So I don't love like the hard cookies a ton. However, butter cookies are very good. I am a fan. I also like Snickerdoodle. I'm not a huge cinnamon guy. Like, it's fine, but like it's not my favorite. Snickerdoodle are cinnamon, right? I'm sound like an idiot here, but I'm pretty
That's
sure
definitely cinnamon on the top of those cookies.
I would probably lean. It sounds wrong because I feel like the objective correct answer is Snickerdoodle, but I would probably go butter cookie. But I don't have a strong enough opinion if you would much rather like Snickerdoodle.
I think butter cookies win too, to be honest. I really don't care for Snickerdoodles. I agree with all your takes on this one. Big fan of the soft cookie.
Yeah,
but butter cookies are kind of different. You don't really have
underrated.
Them a lot, and they're
Underrated,
sneaky good. They sneak up on you, so we can push them through. Now you have what looks like to be oatmeal raisin versus white chocolate chip in macadamias.
Yes, some would say Mickey Mouse. Some would say Mickey Mouse.
You could say this is Mickey Mouse.
Here. I am out on white chocolate. Don't like it. Not
also, I'm out on white chocolate.
Don't hate oatmeal raisin cookies. I don't hate it.
So here's the thing. I think oatmeal raisin's going to go through. Because again, out on white chocolate, mediocre. Don't know who's eating white chocolate. Gross. Disgusting. The darker the chocolate, the better.
Yes.
But Sneaky L, obviously, by the oatmeal raisin is when you think it's a chocolate chip and it's not.
They get you, which is tough.
That's
You
the guy
you
holding
have
his
to-
chest heart attack meme.
you have to make the cookie look clearly like an oatmeal raisin, because I can enjoy an oatmeal raisin cookie when I know what I'm getting. But if I
Oatmeal's
pick it up
sneaky good
expecting
flavor, actually.
agree, and I don't hate raisins. Raisins are fine. Okay, oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, very good,
That I've never had.
very good, must try. Anyways,
Oatmeal raisin goes through.
White chocolate bad.
Now we've got shortbread Girl Scout cookies. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what that is, right? Shortbread.
I think so. Very similar to the butter
versus
cookie, I would say.
Oreos.
Very similar to the butter cookie, no?
It is very similar, if not the same. But it is a name brand item.
Yes, but unfortunately for the shortbread, it is going up against an absolute powerhouse.
Have I told the Oreos? Yes, I have, because we did the cereal bracket, and I used to just put the Oreo, like full-size Oreos in a bowl and just put milk in it.
Oreos are going to
Oreos
go very far.
Easy money.
Oreos are important question. I think we've talked about it before. Double stuffed or single stuffed?
I like the double stuff. The more of the stuffing, the better.
I disagree. I'm the cookie
Really?
guy. Yeah, I like the
You don't
cookie
like
part
the
better.
stuffing?
Stuffing's fine, but I just think the single stuffed are a better balance, especially if you're drinking it with milk, because I think the milk pairs better with the cookie part than the stuffing part.
That's true.
Stuffing's fine, no complaints, but I prefer single stuff. But
All right.
I think that just speaks to the Oreo, which is more versatile.
Bonus rat list, my friend Tyler. Every time we have a gathering now, he shows up with a gigantic shoebox-sized thing of Oreos.
Why is that?
Because he gets them cheap.
Why does he get?
And he's just like bringing as much junk as he can. He's like, all right, like everyone's gonna get like shit faced on Oreos.
Why does he get them cheap?
I don't know. He goes to like Job Lot or something, which I don't know if you have in Bristol County. But like it's like a discount big ass box of Oreos.
Is it name brand though? At least
it's Oreos.
Okay.
Yeah, rat list though.
Another
I'm not
rat
trying
list
to eat
entry.
10 Oreos, but I can't help myself. I have no self-control.
Another rat list entry. Anybody who prefers vanilla Oreos needs to be banned from anything. From any vanilla Oreos.
That's tough for the Spino.
Out. Gone. I can understand if you like them, whatever. I don't like them. I think they're gross.
He doesn't do chocolate.
Oh, disaster.
He likes the golden Oreos. He has golden Oreo socks.
Disaster.
He almost bought a golden Oreo pillow the other day.
We're gonna have some
Spino is a legend. We have to get him on here.
Oreos, dumb, regardless. Beat the
Oreos,
shortbread, yes.
Now you've got, I don't know what the hell those are on the left, but you have Milanos. All right.
I believe those are peanut butter Girl Scout cookies. Chocolate covered with like a cookie base and then just peanut butter on the top layer underneath the chocolate.
Oh dear.
Very good.
This is not Mickey Mouse.
Might be my favorite Girl Scout. Milano's also very good.
This is the least Mickey Mouse thing I've ever seen on a bracket.
Yeah, this is a heater matchup. This is a Final Four matchup I've ever seen.
I've never had the Girl Scout cookies, so I can't be a good judge here. But I really like
very
the
good.
Milanos.
Now,
and that's dark chocolate.
It is goated. I used to dislike Milanos because I would associate them with mint because they'd have the mint.
You don't like mint?
I'm not a fan of the flavor. Like during Christmas, they'd have the mint flavored Milanos, but obviously as I've gotten older, I've become knowledgeable and I've come to realize that not all Milanos are mint. So I do like Milanos. Very good. The texture is great. The dark chocolate's goated. Good all around. But man, oh man, the peanut butter cookie. Oh, I lean left, and I know you've never had it, but Sam, next time you get Girl Scout cookies, not the normal peanut butter. Normal peanut butters are fine.
Did I tell you about the time I didn't order girl? Jesus Christ, Sam, we'll try that again. Did I tell you about the time when I didn't order the Girl Scout cookies out of spite?
No. What's this?
So when I was at the news station, Doreen, who was the morning anchor, her daughter is a Girl Scout. So when I was at the station, there were times where I was working weekends. So I would have Thursday, Friday off.
Yeah.
She brought in a bunch of samples of the Girl Scout cookies on a Thursday. I wasn't there. So I said, I'm not buying any. Out of spite, did not buy any Girl Scout cookies. Did have a moment on air where we all get to try an exclusive Girl Scout cookie, though. Got to eat a cookie.
Very fire. So wait, why exactly didn't you buy them? Out of spite? Why?
Because they were brought in on a day where I was not there. So I didn't
Oh,
get to enjoy the free Girl Scout cookies.
gotcha. And so you didn't buy them. I understand.
We are back to the top of the bracket. If you have not seen one of our brackets before, this website makes you go side by side. So we haven't done the
There
first
you
round on
land.
the other side. But we have butter cookies versus the oatmeal raisin in the second round.
It sounds wrong, but I think butter cookies might make a run here.
Okay.
Tell me, do you
I'm not
disagree?
married to the oatmeal raisin.
Oatmeal
I think they're
raisin's
fine.
but like I could eat like a bunch of butter cookies, right? Like oatmeal raisin, I'll probably cap out at one, maybe two. You put a box of butter cookies in front of me, I'll house that shit. It's good.
We're going to put butter cookies back in. I'm going to go pee and then we'll be back. You might see a cut.
Okay.
Yeah, so I definitely lead the league in fat pisses at work. Like I come into work, 2 water bottles deep and a large coffee. Come in before I even sit down, hit the bathroom. Then I go to sit down, probably half hour to an hour, go take another one, and then throughout the day I'm in there 4 or 5 times. My prostate's okay, I swear to God.
All right.
All right, back to the bracket. This one may be a head and hands matchup for Jack. This is Oreos versus the peanut butter Girl Scout cookies.
Disaster. This is painful. So I hate this. Peanut butter Girl Scout cookies, better cookie. If I had to only have one, I would eat the peanut butter Girl Scout.
Is that your selection?
No, I can't. I can't go against the Oreo though. I just can't.
But you literally just said you like the other one better.
I do, but like,
then put it through.
I can't. That's the thing.
Why you can't? You like it better.
I do, but the Oreo is. I've liked it for longer. It's more of a staple. I've eaten more of the Oreo. I can't not pick the Oreo.
All right. Well, way to be a square. Oreo goes through.
Well, do you know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense?
Well, no, you like the other cookie better, but you're picking the Oreo.
I feel like I would also get sick of the peanut butter one faster, though. Like I could keep eating Oreos. I could always eat Oreos.
Okay.
Like
all right.
I
Oreo goes through.
Also, have you ever done the thing where you put like a couple Oreos in a mug, a little bit of milk, a little bit of baking soda, you put it in the microwave?
No.
Cake.
What is that?
Oreo cake. Makes Oreo
Is it
cake.
cake.
Makes Oreo cake. You put it in with a little bit of milk, a little bit of baking powder makes Oreo cake.
I've never heard
like a minute and a half. Very good. Very, very good. Don't put it in for too long, though. It burns. But you put it in there for the right amount of time. Fire. So good.
This is like Sam gets fat.
All right. What do you got here?
You have butter cookies. This is the this side of the bracket, the semifinal, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Butter cookies versus Oreos. Oreos, I would imagine, is going to steam.
Yeah,
good
run for the butter
the
cookie.
Peanut butter cookies just lost.
That was the semifinal. That was like, for all intents and purposes, the semifinals. Good run for the butter cookie though. Shout out, but Oreo absolutely goes through the finals.
All right, Oreo in the final. Now we transition to the other side of the bracket. This may be head and hands. I don't know. You have chocolate chip cookies versus the M&M cookies, which essentially are the same thing.
Yeah, personally, not an M&M's guy. Just, I don't love it.
So I like M&M's, but I think M&M cookies always suck.
They're redundant, right? Like my mom.
I don't think I've ever had an M&M cookie that was better than a regular chocolate chip. I feel like the M&M cookies are always like kind of on the harder side.
Yeah, agreed. Chocolate chip
I think
cookies,
they're mid.
Goated. Chocolate chip cookies, phenomenal. Might run through the bracket.
Yeah, I agree. Now you have gingerbread cookies versus a black and white cookie. Even though that's not the traditional black and white cookie from Seinfeld, but it appears to be a black and white cookie with some kind of filling like an Oreo.
Are those peanut butter cookies on the left?
I think those are gingerbread cookies. They may be peanut butter cookies.
No, because I think there's peanut butter ones down the bracket a little bit. So I think that you're correct that those are gingerbread.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that, actually.
This is another Mickey Mouse. This is tough. Not a gingerbread cookies. Not really, no. I won't fight you on it because like I don't really care for the other one either.
I don't think they're a wagon, but I think they're better than the ones on the right.
Yeah, it's fine with me. I don't really love either.
Especially with milk.
I'll eat either, but yeah, sure. I guess I never really had them enough to. Yeah. Okay.
Now these are peanut butter cookies versus coconut delights. Head and hands for Jack.
Do you have a preference here? What are your
Yes, I do.
I assume you lean peanut butter.
I am slamming back the coconut caramel delights, whatever they're called.
Thank God.
It's nobody's business.
Thank God. I love peanut butter with chocolate. I love peanut butter. Peanut butter cookie is almost too much for me. It's just like so
You
concentrated.
have a peanut butter chocolate chip?
Good. Better.
When I was the cookie man for the Friendsgiving, I made those.
Fire. I had the ones like it was peanut butter with a Hershey Kiss in the middle. Very
Not
good.
bad.
Very good. However, Caramel Delights coconut.
Caramel Delights are fantastic.
Awesome. Amazing cookie. Everything.
Now you've got sugar cookies versus Thin Mints.
I like Thin Mints, even though I don't like mint. Sugar cookie clears. Are we gonna have a fight? Sugar cookie beats the shit.
Sugar cookies are ass.
Are you?
No. No.
Disaster.
Sugar cookies are ass.
Oh, you're an idiot. You're an
sugar
idiot.
Cookies. I look at a sugar cookie and I'm like, I'm gonna go have a piece of celery.
Sugar cookies are phenomenal.
No, sugar cookies are terrible. And not only are Thin Mints a wagon, you don't even like mint and you like Thin Mints. That's how good those cookies are. You don't even like the flavor of the cookie and you like the cookie.
This isn't even close, this matchup.
You're right. You're right. It's not close.
Sugar cookie clears a Thin Mint.
This is a war crime.
Sugar cookie might be the second best basic cookie on the market.
No! Come on. Sugar cookies are ass, dude.
You can't put it past the chocolate chip, but there has been times based on my mood where I have actively chosen a sugar cookie over a chocolate chip.
Oh, that's crime.
We gotta flip a coin here. I can't
Flip
let
the
you
coin. Flip
knock
the coin.
out the sugar
I can't
cookie
have
here.
this.
This is disaster.
Take over the screen share. Flip the coin.
Sugar cookie was gonna roll to the semifinals before it lost the chocolate chip. Oh my God, this is horrendous.
He's not getting out of the next round.
My goodness. Neither is the Thin Mint. Are you kidding me?
Thin Mint's
fine. I tolerate the Thin Mint, even though I don't like mint.
You don't like mint. You like the cookie.
That's
like how good the cookie is.
No. I like the cookie as in if there's nothing else available to me, I'll eat it. Fine.
I'm not convinced I'm wasting calories on a sugar cookie.
This is disaster. You want heads or
get
tails
the coin
for
on the
stupid
screen.
Thin Mint?
I got tails.
You want heads or tails? Sam gets tails for Thin Mints. I get heads for sugar cookie. You're goddamn right. It's a sugar cookie. Put it.
I'm actually so fucking mad.
Horrendous choice. The Thin Mint over the sugar.
Get the fuck out of here with the Thin Mint. We're putting it. And you're making me swear on the podcast. I really try not to. Even though I think if you're getting mad swearing, I don't know what to tell you, but I just try not to do it.
I agree.
The sugar cookie goes through on Mickey Mouse. Now you've got chocolate chip versus gingerbread cookies. I'm sorry.
Not close. I mean,
I agree. This is not
chocolate
close.
chip's gonna run.
Okay, you got the chocolate chip wagon goes right through. Gingerbread man cut in half, loses his legs, wheelchair gingerbread. See ya. Bye. Run over by the train. Now you have caramel delights versus sugar cookie.
Now, I already won the battle. I already won my war. I would personally pick a sugar cookie over the caramel delights, but I will not fight you on this because I do enjoy the caramel delights a lot.
I'm not letting this happen again.
I won't fight you because I appreciate you respecting the coin flip the first time.
You have to respect
coconut caramel delights.
I am nothing if not honorable.
Fine. Yes, coconut caramel delights, and they might be the best. They're the second best Girl Scout cookie, but they're goated. They're very good. The caramel delights, best Girl Scout cookie, by the way, in case you're wondering. The one that lost on the other side of the bracket, the peanut butter ones, the best Girl Scout cookie.
I haven't had them. In fairness,
you need to have.
I don't know if I've
life changer, but yes, this is fine here.
Now this is tough. This is head and hands.
I don't think so.
You don't think so, but you have. By the way, if you're listening, it is chocolate chip cookies versus the caramel delights.
Mm-hmm.
This is tough because the chocolate chip cookie is the obvious winner. But the caramel delight is an excellent piece of food.
It's like
it's
a big
fantastic.
time salute. It's a big salute to the
It
caramel
is salute. This is like in the Hunger Games, like I don't have anything for you. I really don't. I'm sorry. I wish I had something. I don't.
It was a good
I'll
try.
think of something. It's
this
like
when Rue died in the Hunger Games.
Yeah,
big
there
salute.
you go.
I helped you out.
Or like I don't even want to say Iron Man dies.
You're struggling. Oh,
we are in the finals. The chocolate chip cookies have gone through. You have Oreo versus chocolate chip cookies.
This is the correct final two. I'll say that. It's well, actually, I need the correct final two.
This is a square bracket. This is a square bracket. The favorites have gone to the final.
Yeah, it's chalk. I mean, I know my winner, and it's tough because I respect the hell out of the other competitor, but The chocolate chip cookie is the best cookie.
Okay, good.
It just is.
I didn't want to have to go to the coin flip again.
It just is. It just is. You can't go against it. It is the best cookie.
The greatest dessert of all time is a chocolate chip cookie skillet with the ice cream on top.
Hey,
the greatest dessert of all time.
Go to dessert. Applause.
I'll slam back 10 of those. I don't care.
Fun
If
fact
I'm gonna
for
get
you.
fat. That's the way I'm doing it.
Fun fact for you. Do you know where the chocolate chip cookie was invented, Sam?
No.
Good old Massachusetts, baby.
Really?
Yes, sir. Whitman, Mass.
Whitman.
Love to see it.
Oh, that's where Kitchens is from. Individual I used to work at the news station. Kitchens.
I was
Whitman,
confused.
Mass. Fine resident.
Chocolate chip cookie. Easy winner. I mean, I think we all knew it was going to win when we started the bracket, but good bracket.
You have to play it out. You have to play it out. You never know.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I'm still appalled that you don't like sugar cookies. Like, what do we do?
Sugar cookies are ass.
Oh my God. Disaster. Anyways, the coin flip reigns supreme again. The correct answer. But anyways, you put a poll on Twitter for sugar cookie.
I did. Go vote.
I did vote, and it's not looking good for your side with 4 votes in.
Stop the count.
I think that's about it for us, though. Thank you all for tuning in. I very much appreciate it. My 2 go-tos. Well, before I do my 2 plugs, Sam, would you like to read the bottom of the screen for us?
Yes. Headed to a Celtics game or other event, use SeatGeek and use promo code HBTC. Be like Lewis. Save yourself $20 on your first purchase. Go to a game with a little bit of help from us, or a comedy show, or a concert, or a play, or I'll probably have to read this again. No, I don't have to read it again. HBTC on SeatGeek. $20 off your first purchase. Let us help you go see what you want to see.
Love it. And as always, my 2 plugs. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or YouTube or anywhere, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's where all the fun happens. That's where the pregame streams are. That's where the live streams are. How about them Celtics on YouTube? We're very close to 300. Help us get there. We appreciate it. And we will drop merch at 1,000, which is a little ways away. But if you're on Spotify, we're getting there. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure to leave a rating. A 5-star rating would greatly help our podcast and the algorithm. And yeah, that's all the plugs I have. I'll leave it over to Sam.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching, you are on YouTube at How About Them Celtics. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, leave some comments. You can make fun of us. I really don't care. But if you're going to leave comments and be mean, do it there. Don't do it on whatever streaming service you might be listening to us on. Make sure you leave a 5-star review, like Jack said, and say nice things about us. Say we're handsome even though you can't see us. You can follow us there. Make sure you get all the latest pods right to your feed. And if you want more of us, at How About Them Celtics, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're on Facebook too. It's just the name of the pod there. How About Them C's? You can find us pregame streaming there on YouTube, as well as the Heavy Facebook, Heavy on Celtics, and Heavy on Celtics YouTube. We're at both of those. If you want more of Jack, at Jack Simone NBA on Twitter. He's doing all kinds of good work at Celtics Blog. Has a big-time piece coming out around the playoffs. Keep your eyes peeled.
Hopefully soon. Yeah.
He's doing hard work. He's sweating. He's transcribing quotes. It's going to be a heater. You can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA to see me tell you not to buy Tatum's products or tell you Tatum songs. That's it for us.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus. These guys are